Welcome to Deep River Farm. Well, today's plant day, so we want to get all of our stuff ready. I done got my beds combed out. I've laid my seeds in here, planting beets in these 2 beds, and we're gonna go ahead and cover them up. Gonna walk out there and get us some fertilizer, because I'm sure our tomatoes have depleted quite a bit of nutrients out of the soil, so I want to put some nutrients back in this soil. So I'm going to throw me some triple 17 out here on this. I won't be able to add any chicken manure from my chicken lot or anything until after this crop comes in, because it could burn it up, and we don't want to do that. But we've got 2 beds of beets. I was able to plant 4 rows of beets in our 4x8 box. So that's giving us a pretty good crop here, I believe. We might could get 18, 20 jars of beets out of this. We'll just have to see. And we've got a hurricane coming. Way it looks like we might be getting into some serious rain about the weekend if that thing develops like they say. So we're getting everything ready. Went and got plenty of gas for the generator and everything yesterday. So we're gonna fill up the rest of the cans here in just a little bit. So wanted to go ahead and get these beets covered up and everything. So we'll be ready, have everything done, and everything will be covered, and we can just sit back and wait for our beets to come in, and we'll go with it. So we got a pretty good little grow of these boogers and everything. And we're gonna be in good shape. So you want to plant your beets about 4 inches apart, 4 to 6. That's the way I do it, and that way I've got plenty of room for them to grow amongst themselves, and we'll have plenty of room. And that way you don't have to, you can pull them a little quicker, that way they won't get so big, and you can make yourself some pickled beets out of it. So that's what we're working at doing and everything. We got a few tomato plants I see was coming up in this, additional ones. Yeah, we've already went through and moved everything and so forth. Well, we're ready for our beets in this bed to come up, and we'll be good to go. But I wanted to get this done just as quick as possible, since we're looking at another hurricane. I think this one's called, I might be wrong, but I believe they said Helen. So we're trying to hurry. This is a good thing about having raised beds. Don't matter how much it rains, they ain't gonna flood. We'll be in good shape. But wanted to put this up, let you know that today's the day to plant. That's what we're doing. Almanac says the moon is in the waning phase. The sign is in Cancer, and that's the most fruitful water sign. If you're not familiar with growing by the almanac, I encourage you to go back and look at our video. It's got a picture of a Blum's almanac cover on the thumbnail. I encourage you to go back and look at that video, and you'll see what we're talking about. As you can see, the skies are overcast behind us. It's threatening rain just any time. I have not checked the dew point. If anybody familiar with it, the dew point, when it gets within 4 degrees of the actual temperature, you're looking at a good possibility of rain when it gets within 4 degrees. So there's some kind of precipitation when it's like that, whether it's a heavy fog or a mist and rain or something's getting ready to take place. Anything 4 degrees or less on the dew point and compared to the temperature, you're looking at precipitation. So I appreciate you joining us today. I hope everybody's learned a little something. Like I said, grow by the almanac. It does work. I've done it for years and years. My grandpa's both done it. My father-in-law done it. My dad's done it. And the reason we believe in it is because it works. So I encourage you to go back, look at the video on the almanac, how to plant by the almanac. It goes into a little bit more detail. And we're planting here because the waning side of the moon is best for root crops in the sign of Cancer and Scorpio. So 24th and 25th is the days to plant. So wanted to go ahead and get it in because the hurricanes are coming, moisture's pushing this way from whatever, and I wanted to get it in before the flood hits, so to speak. Because when we have an issue with a hurricane, we usually get dumped on with several inches of water. And that's why I went to raised beds, because my in-ground garden kept getting flooded out. And I got tired of that, and I was losing my crops 3 and 4 times a year, because once that big first hurricane would hit, the ground would be saturated with water. The water table would be up around here, and the next rain would cause it to stand and pond again in my garden. And it just never would dry out enough, and I just kept losing my crops. So I went to raised beds. I got 23 raised beds out here, and that's what I'm growing in now. I've not had any problems since I went to the raised bed. And you can think of a raised bed as nothing more than a giant container. So those of you that live in apartments or patio homes or close confinement with neighbors, and you think you don't have enough room in your actual yard for a garden, think about using some raised beds. These are 4 foot by 8 foot beds, and I mean, you can go smaller. Some people use Rubbermaid totes and 5-gallon buckets and ceramic pots and clay pots and everything else to grow in. But you want to make sure whatever you're using is not going to hurt you chemically, so you never use treated wood. You always use just regular wood. That way you don't have any chemicals leaching into your food. And that needs to go in also with any kind of plastics that you're using or anything like that. Make sure if you're using plastic, you're using food grade material, and that way you won't have to worry about it. But I appreciate you joining us today on Deep River Farmers. We're planting our beets for the fall crop today, and we get in there tomorrow. We're probably going to throw some carrots and onions out in the last remaining bed up there. Our pumpkins are doing well. I've seen several pumpkins on the vine. We've got one of them that's as big as the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket growing. That must have been the first one, and we got several behind that, so we'll see how they do. But I appreciate you joining us today. Y'all have a blessed day from Deep River Farm, and if you don't mind, hit that like button and the subscription button, and that way that'll tell YouTube to send this video out to more people, and we'd be much appreciative of that. And leave us a comment. That also helps tremendously. Y'all have a blessed day.